everyone, and welcome to Bear Clooney Watches channel. What you see on your screen is the official Rolex website, and specifically you're watching at a continuous loop of two teasers we've seen in the last couple of days in relation to the new watch release or new watches release coming on September 1st. As we all know, Rolex was always releasing their new watches in Baselworld, but Baselworld 2020 did not happen, and Rolex was giving us indication that they're not going to do any new releases this year. However, we misread that indication, for a lack of a better word, and maybe about a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a little bit longer, it appeared that Rolex will be releasing new watches on September 1st. Obviously, that got a lot of us Rolex fanboys very excited, but overall, it's actually very exciting all across the watch world, because Rolex, as the Swiss giant and most significant and most important watch brand, certainly gets a lot of attention whenever they decide to reveal anything new. Sometimes it's just a color, but sometimes it's a new movement. A lot of people are disillusioned lately because of such a high demand on Rolex watches, and it's very difficult to get even existing pieces. But nevertheless, it is interesting to see what Geneva Giant has come up with this time. I wasn't really planning on doing this, and this was initiated actually by one of my fans, Tom, and shout out to Tom, who asked my friend Anthony if Bear could do his analysis on these teasers, because every Bark and Dick in this YouTube scene has done exactly the same. So why not? Tom, here I am, and I'm going to give you my perception of these teasers. What we see immediately here, it is that we are talking about watch which is going to be not just nautical theme, but most likely a diver, because the appearance originally was, when it was saying out of the blue, giving us indication about possibility of blue color being highly involved in this watch. We see the typical new lume for the Rolex pieces and dial configuration. But in a second teaser coming up right now, we see the crown, we see the typical bezel, and these two teasers, regardless how little they show, to anyone who follows Rolex, they give quite a few messages. What you're going to notice first, besides that it's most likely a diver, and that kind of narrows it down if we're not going to actually see a new line, which is not highly possible. We're looking at interesting observation that when we see the watch appear with crown facing us, we do not see the cyclop. What is the indication of that? Is it possibly a no-date issue? And if this is no-date issue, that indicates to us that this is not going to be new watch in a precious metal. Rolex does not produce non-date divers watches in the precious metals without cyclop. So does that indicate a new line? Does it indicate just a release of a no-date piece, maybe no-date blue sub? I can't see that they would only issue just a no-date blue sub. And it is most likely indication of the new sub line. Now, there are even a weirder ideas that crossed my mind. Would it be possible that maybe Rolex is changing the actual configuration layout of the cycle? Is cycle maybe beneath the actual crystal? Is it maybe part of the crystal? Is that some type of new technology? That would be significant. That would be truly big. I don't see that happening. From what I see, the first signs of it, so we have a diver, we have a not Cyclops, so this is probably no date Rolex sub, most likely. Is it a Yachtmaster? Well, originally when they came up with just blue in nautical theme, that was a possibility I was considering. But looking deeper into this, and with a second teaser where we see the crown, where we see the typical bezel layout, I think we're looking at no date sub, and out of the blue indicates that there will be involvement of the blue color. The blue Rolex sub prior to now was existing only in white gold, and that is the popular Rolex Smurf. But if you are actually looking into what we were all hoping for a long time, it is to see a Rolex sub in blue. With blue bezel, and most of us would like to see a blue dial, but I think that's not going to be the case. I think that Tudor 58 blue bezel black dial was a kind of like a pre-game. It was actually a test of the market on the watch coming from the same company. And I see some kind of trend here. We had the Tudor Pepsi, and then we had the Rolex with the Pepsi bezel. We had something telling me that this is going to be a Rolex sub with a blue bezel, black dial, and that will obviously satisfy a couple of things. It will satisfy those who are looking for the Rolex in steel with a blue element, Rolex sub, and it will also not diminish the whole importance of a precious metal Rolex Smurf, which most likely will also have a different shade of blue, and as we all know, Rolex Smurf actually has blue dial. So I think that will satisfy the whole need of separation between stainless steel and precious metal Rolex. Other indications are that, and other leaks that I don't see from this teaser, that we might see Rolex on a oyster flex. It might be a precious metal Rolex, but I am only here to analyze the teasers. I do want to comment that marketing minds in Rolex are true geniuses. I mean, to come up with a message hidden in 7 seconds for the first teaser and 8 seconds for the second one is remarkable. It got the watch market talking about this. It got everyone involved thinking about possibilities. And it is amazing that 15 seconds of a teaser coming from the Geneva giant are creating such a stir. The other rumor I heard, and I would be shocked to see it happen, is that there could be possibility of the Rolex sub coming out with a mill sub, and the mill sub actually having a sword hands, which I think would just rock the world of the watch geeks. I am not sure that that's going to happen. I mean, chances for that are minimal, but could this be a re-edition of the mill sub in blue? Wow, I don't know. Anyway, let's just summarize the facts. From what I see here, this is a diver. From what I see here, this watch doesn't have a cyclop. From what I see here, it is most likely not precious metal, and it is most likely no date. Those are the things that I can be kind of betting my money on. And finally, we all know that we've been flirting with the new Rolex sub for a while. We've been flirting with possibility of the new Rolex sub with the new movement, but we haven't really expected to see new color on a sub. Is the out of the blue game being played where obviously coming from nowhere, so it's something we don't expect? Is it the wording which indicates that it's coming from the deep blue sea? Is it the word that is telling us that there will be a blue color involved on a bezel or dial? Those are the things that make us discuss and talk. And this is why this teaser and this production from marketing minds of amazing company are just best in this game. So anyway, Tom, this is in short my analysis. I am pretty sure we're looking at the no date watch. I'm pretty sure we're looking at the 904L steel. I am pretty sure we're looking at the sub and possibly blue. How long will we have to wait for it? Well, that is the question that only Anthony can give us. So Tom, I'll ask him for both of us, and we will see where this goes. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for participating. I hope to see your comments below. As always, I try to respond to everyone. Specifically on this one, I would love to hear what are your opinions. What do you see in these 15 seconds of amazing marketing? And let's chat. All the best to all of you from Bear Clooney.